Hi, welcome back. And today I want to do a reply video to a channel that I've only just found. Um, it was through Marty's live stream. He had him on as a guest. I think it was his name's Grandy's Graveyard or something. And he put up a rant video. I thought, let me check out some of his videos. And he had a review for The Substance, and he said he hated it. This film sucks. And this video is not like to bash him or anything like that. Basically, I put a long ass reply, an essay near enough, talking about what I'm going to talk about now. And I clicked post and it failed to post, and I didn't copy and paste it and lost the reply. And I just could not be bothered to retype the whole thing. So I'm just going to say some of the points here now. And I say it's not to sort of defend the film. The film's had so much praise, and this is just my personal opinion. I really enjoyed the film, and I'll tell you why. I'll talk about his video and what he said, and I'm not trying to convince him or sort of defend the film or anything, but I'm just, well, I am in some ways because I really enjoyed it. But I think it's healthy for us to talk to each other and say like why we didn't like films. And I totally get why he didn't like it. Some of the things he said were the tone shifting all the time, characters, no characterization. You don't know why. You don't get to know why she's taken the substance, why she feels she has to, what's happened to her backstory. I mean, what I put in the reply was Hollywood's quite one dimensional, and it's like when you're hot, and when you're not, you're not. Everything's based on appearance, on beauty, on youth. And as that sort of declines, so does her popularity. She has this really, really fucking stupid TV Get Fit show, like Richard Simmons, he compared to. It's just, like an exercise Jane Fonda type workout video every day. Like, and this reality where, I mean, there are programs like that, but it just seems so 80s and so naff now to be watching something like that. In the UK, we had Busy Lizzie on GMTV. We had Mr. Motivator. I think even before all that, we had the Green Goddess in some one-piece green leotard thing. So these things in the UK were, and probably still are. We've had celebrity workout videos. Um, all these minor celebrities from Big Brother, like Jade Goody, Liz, what's her name? Was Kim Lawler? All these soap stars having their bloody workout videos. I even picked up one from Patsy Palmer as Bianca, and it is so bad. It is so bad. These cash-in workout videos. But anyway, so she's got the show. She's had some sort of stardom, maybe some movie career. Now she's a washed out fitness instructor, glorified fitness instructor for TV. The ratings have been going down. She's a bit depressed. They've sacked her. Conveniently, she has a car crash because she's not paying attention. She's looking at whatever. I can't remember. She gets distracted. She gets in a car crash. One of the nurses at the hospital's a bit shady, and he says, "Oh, you've got such great bone structure and blah blah blah. You'd be a great candidate for the substance." And she's like, "What are you talking about?" And he slips this little thumb drive in her clothes or a gown or whatever. And she gets home and she gets it, sticks it in, looks at it, and thinks, "Oh no, not for me." Throws it in the bin, has a few drinks, gets a bit a bit drunk, and she thinks, "Why not?" And then she goes down this path. If you've never seen the film, I'm not going to spoil it, but that's basically how she gets into this shady world of this sort of black market drug, the substance. If you've not seen it, So I don't want to give too much away, but in reply to his video, if you've not seen this video, I'm just going to go for free into all the spoilers, if I have to. Yeah, but in reply to his video, the points that he said, no characterization. Well, I say it's very one-dimensional. The tone, he said, was all over the place. Well, again, it's a very sort of superficial world. So you got this whole Barbie-esque side, them going down the hallway, acting all crazy and zany and eating the shrimp. It's just like, it's just over exaggerating how much of a pig and how much a lecherous pig. And he was saying like Ray Liotta would have been good in this role, or he was originally cast for the role. And I think, yeah, Ray Liotta would have been really good, but you know, his health wasn't great, and I think he passed away not long after. Dennis Quaid I found hilarious in it, and gross at the same time. I thought he was really good. And yeah, that was another one-dimensional character, fair enough. But that's, again, what the industry is. The story between Demi Moore's character and Margaret Qualley's character, yeah, there's not a lot to it. Yes, maybe it's been retold old story. Maybe the reasons for the film getting its green light were more political, because it's like pushing an empowerment message of accepting yourself, and you know, with age comes wisdom. You know, we all want to go back to when we were young. If I knew now what I knew back then, yes, we'd all do things differently. But I say maybe that's the reason it got the push, and maybe that's another reason some people, I'm not saying him in particular, but some people that consider themselves true horror fans are quite snobby when it comes to mainstream stuff. Me, I'd say I'm quite mainstream, but I do like films like David Cronenberg's Videodrome. That blew me away. I'd not long seen Society for the first time before seeing The Substance, and Society is such a gross film. It is humorous, it is funny, it has got a dark sense of humour to it, but the body horror in that is, you know, Videodrome has got its moments of horror with the exploding heads and, you know, the sort of cancerous stuff coming out of the head, being infected by the Videodrome signal or whatever, the bullet. But Society was much more grosser than the Substance, and the tone of The Substance was a lot more light-hearted in parts. I did get the references to The Shining, the woman in the bath, and the carpet, and there was another scene. I'm not over familiar with The Shining. I don't particularly like The Shining. I know that's sacrilege to say, but again, it's about what works for me might not work for you, and what works for somebody else might really work for me. You know, I really enjoyed The Substance. I've recommended it to a couple of people, like AJ. He didn't get on with it. Vass from Horror Lives Matter, he didn't like it, and I was kind of disappointed. I was like, oh. And I've recommended films in the past to people, and I've been pushing them, saying, oh, watch it, you got to watch it. And they turn around and they watch it 6 months later, and they're like, didn't think much of it. And I'm like, oh, you just don't get it. You just don't get it. You kind of feel frustrated that they don't get it, because you want everybody to be on the same page sometimes, you know. But if they don't get it, they don't get it. There's lots of films I've watched that I'm not in the right mood for. I'm just trying to look around. I've got a lot of crap. I have, like, American Beauty. I've been after this film for ages, and then it popped up in a shop, and you know, Kevin Spacey, I guess he's Is he back? Is he back in the inner circle now, or is he still been pushed out like Louis C.K.? Um, I think it's a great film. A great film. It might not resonate with everyone, but it really really resonates with me, that one. Uh, Maybe it's my age, and that's another thing. In the comments, somebody said, "Oh, it's your age. You know, you'll get it eventually." Uh, that's a little bit condescending, but it is kind of true in some senses. There's films like The Thing, like I was going to say Ken Russell, but the Kurt Russell film. I watched it 20 years ago and I hated it. I was just like, oh, no, 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 don't like the look of that. It's too slow. It's too boring. No, 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 no. And that's another thing he mentioned. 2.5 hours of his time, like 2.5 hours to me for the substance just flew by. But I say, I watched The Thing, the remake, Kurt Russell one, 20 years ago. Hated it. Thought it was just boring. And then I watched it recently, maybe 6 months or a year ago, and I totally loved it. I totally loved it. And it's not like peer pressure. It's like, oh, you must like this film. It's like, no, I just watched it. Nobody told me to. I just fancied watching it. Had a mouldy copy on VHS. I cleaned the tape and I put it on to watch. Really enjoyed it. Sold the tape. I've got another copy of it somewhere. Sold the tape. So hopefully now somebody else has watched it and they hate it, and then 20 years later they'll rediscover it. Who knows? Who knows? But that's just the way it is. I think that sort of covers everything. Other things that he mentioned the tone, characterization, that there wasn't any. Um, we don't get to know why she feels the need to take the substance. Well, I thought that was pretty self-explanatory. You know, she's aging star, her looks are going, she's lost her job. That's the only sort of worth she'd put into herself, you know, her image, and there was nothing to fall back on. She had money, but she wanted that attention, and that's how it ends with the yeah, it did descend into madness. The trauma ending I thought was a bit stupid, to be honest. It was a bit silly and just blood spurting everywhere. Um, but it was fun. It was fun. It was over the top. Um, what else is there to say about it? Margot Qualley and her CGI nips or enhanced breasts and all that. I didn't find any of that sort of stuff interesting, to be honest. I mean, it was just basically a callback to that Call on Me video. Um, it wasn't hypersexual, even though it was sort of pushed to be that way in the film. It just felt fake, as her tits were fake. If her natural tits were flopping about, maybe I would have been a bit more interested. But because you got these sort of silicon um, appliances put on, perfect butt shaking around and all this stuff, no, it didn't do nothing for me, that part. I thought the psychology between the two was quite interesting. Oh, you mentioned Black Swan. I watched that film many years ago. I thought it totally boring. So, you know, there again, he liked that. I didn't like that at all. I might go back and rewatch it. I probably won't, though. There's so much more stuff that I can watch, and I don't really want to waste my time on going back and watching something that I know I'm not going to like. But then your opinions can change. Um, so I get his frustration when he says he wasted 2.5 hours of his life. Maybe was expecting more. Maybe he was looking to hate it because it was so accepted by mainstream. That could be a factor. It's kind of like people shit on the Blair Witch because it was such a mainstream hit. That film, when it came out, I was stoned. I was watching it in the dark. There was mice running around in my house. I was freaking the fuck out, and that ending fucked me up. It left me cold. It did. So maybe I'm just not very intelligent. I don't know, but films like that affected me. Films like Poltergeist, the original, not the remake, the original Toby, no, Steven Spielberg. It wasn't Toby Hooper. It was Steven Spielberg made Poltergeist, even though Toby Hooper was on the credits. What other films? Video dramas I mentioned. Society is another one that I've only recently watched and really enjoyed and grossed me out. I also watched From Beyond for the first time. That was quite creepy and gross. So, even at my age, I'm 52, I think, I'm still discovering things. Klaus Kinski, Android, watched this for the first time not long ago, about maybe 6 months or a year. Watched it, I think, on YouTube for free, and I picked up the video just to have, because it's a beautiful thing, an artifact, and I will rewatch this film again. But I've only watched it recently for the first time, so I still haven't watched this. I think I need to clean the tape. Hell's Island, any good? I know the tape's clean. I'll give that a watch. Right, I'll pull that out. I'll do something rattling. I'll do a review on this, hopefully. What's rattling? And yeah, I say it's good. It's good to have these debates, and I say this video was inspired by frustration because I tried to post the reply. It was respectful. It was like, I totally get where you're coming from. I wasn't being condescending. Wasn't like, oh, you don't get it. He didn't like it. It's as simple as that. Maybe I say he was expecting something else. Maybe he had prejudices because it was mainstream accepted. I will say for what's her name? The woman director, Farge. Anyway, Revenge is her first film, I think, and it was on YouTube to watch for free. So after watching The Substance, I went and watched The Revenge, and that was great as well. Don't know if I'd rewatch it. Don't know if it's got much rewatchability, because once you sort of know what's going to happen, there's some gross moments to enjoy, but the tension's not there on a rewatch because you just know. But yeah, I really enjoyed that as well. So, and I also like things like American Psycho. So that was also directed by a woman. So maybe, maybe I like that sort of that take, coming from a woman's point of view. I don't know. I mean, American Psycho, if you didn't know it was directed by a woman, could you see the signs? Could you see the sign? It is a double yellow line. I don't know. I'll talk about that maybe in another video. But yeah, that's another film that I really enjoy. Really enjoy the look at that. And that is another over-the-top film. Maybe not so much. It's more sort of based in reality. But sorry, I'm getting distracted. I'm playing with flippers. An Action Man flipper that's just sitting here. So yeah, that's enough waffling. Leave some comments down below if you want. I'll leave a link to the guy's video. And I really enjoyed his rant. I hope he enjoys this if he watches it. And yeah, feel free to like what you like, because that's, as somebody else said in the comments, art is subjective, and it's very true. Goodbye.